Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'll talk about a new invention. Scientists have figured out how to read the words of our inner monologue, a finding that could help people who cannot physically speak to communicate with the world. Talking to yourself or having mindless internal thoughts is something that most of us can admit to. But imagine if we told you that someone could eavesdrop on your private thoughts. This sounds very creepy, but it's exactly what scientists are working towards achieving. When you hear someone speak, sound waves activate specific neurons that allow the brain to interpret the sounds as words. Now scientists have created an algorithm that does the same thing, but with brain activity instead of sound waves. The decoder could reconstruct speech with very good accuracy while people listen to a story or even silently imagine one, using only fMRI scan data. Previous language decoding systems have required surgical implants, and the latest advance raises the prospect of new ways to restore speech in patients struggling to communicate due to a stroke or other disease. The achievement overcomes a limitation of fMRI, which is that while the technique can map brain activity to a specific location with incredibly high resolution, there is a time lag, which makes tracking activity in real time impossible. The lag exists because fMRI scans measure the blood flow response to brain activity, which peaks and returns to the baseline over about 10 seconds, meaning even the most powerful scanner cannot improve on this. To learn how to translate people's thoughts, researchers from the University of California in the US looked at the brain activity of 7 people undergoing epilepsy surgery. The participants were asked to first read aloud a short piece of text, then read it silently in their heads. The learning process was intensive. Volunteers were required to lie in a scanner for 16 hours each, listening to podcasts. The decoder was trained to match brain activity to meaning using a large language model, GPT-1, a precursor of ChatGPT. While they read the text aloud, a team built a personal decoder for each patient by mapping which neurons were reacting to different aspects of speech. They made this map using electrographics readings of electrodes implanted in the patients. Once they'd worked out which brain patterns related to which words, they then used the decoder to try to read brain activity during silent reading, and found that it was able to translate several words that the volunteers were thinking. Later, the same participants were scanned listening to a new story or imagining telling a story, and the decoder was used to generate text from brain activity alone. About half the time, the text closely, and sometimes precisely, matched the intended meanings of the original words. For instance, when a participant was playing the words, "I don't have my driver's license yet," the decoder translated to them as, "She has not even started to learn to drive yet." In another case, the words, "I didn't know whether to scream, cry, or run away. Instead I said, 'Leave me alone,' were decoded, started to scream and cry, and then she just said, 'I told you to leave me alone.'" This invention is definitely a big one indeed. It will truly help the people who need it, and it will be an inspiration for other future projects to come. That's all for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.